Hey everybody, welcome back to another monthly market report for real estate in the Central Okanagan, this time reviewing the stats for November in 2024. So as expected, we've seen a slight slowdown in terms of sales stats over the last month, but again, usually after October, as we pass through November and into December, real estate and the market kind of slows down a bit, especially when we hit December. This month, we're probably going to see the biggest slowdown of the last several months. We saw a slowdown over sales in the last month, but comparatively to last year, we did see quite an increase. Overall, we still are in a buyer's market with the absorption rates showing 9.2%, but the outlook for 2025 is still a positive one. The Bank of Canada's rate announcement on December 11th, I believe it was, they decided to drop the rate another 50 basis points with the current Bank of Canada interest rate now at 3.25% heading into 2025. And we did see a slight uptick in the inflation rate into October to 2%, up from 1.6% the previous month, but still 2% was a target. And I'm sure we're going to see that drop back down through November and December. But the 2025 landscape for real estate is still, all measures are kind of indicating we're going to head towards a balanced market and probably remain that way for the majority of 2025 with a flattening of prices and an uptick of activity. And honestly, there's not going to be really much changes over the next couple of months in terms of my predictions for 2025. I won't really be able to see any difference seen in prediction probably until the March market report, because there's not going to be much action going through December, maybe a slight uptick in January. But once February hits, that's when our spring market here sort of hits. So if our spring market is as strong as I predict, that's going to solidify my predictions for 2025. But if there's any changes, then I'll have to readjust and kind of review the stats and maybe the variables that are presenting in the market that are causing this. But right now, things are pretty consistent here. Like I said, we are seeing that November, December slowdown, but comparatively to last year, we are looking quite a bit stronger, and you can feel it. There's still a lot of activity. I had another closing this week. There are still few properties going into multiples in December, which really was kind of unheard of for most of the year. But once September hit, it seems like we did have a significant uptick in real estate activity. But having said all that, let's look at what the market has done over the last month and the significant changes we've seen. So there were 333 total sales over the last month. That was down 18.5% from the previous month, but up 23.7% from the previous year. And the average sales price increased 3.14% from the previous year for all total product, for an average of $744,930. The list to sell ratio had a bit of a drop to 94.13%, which honestly makes a bit of sense. As we head into these months, the people who are still actively looking to sell and listed their property are very serious about selling. They likely need to sell. A lot of people tend, when we get into the November and December, to take their listing off the market to relist in the spring. And those who don't are trying to sell their property. So when they are still listed, we're already in a buyer's market. So you will see that bit of a gap between the list price and the selling price, and the reason for that is during these months, more deals tend to be had. The buyers that are in the market during the holiday season are serious buyers, and the sellers that are currently listed are people who need or really want to sell. Not too much change in the average sales price for individual products, with condo prices going up 2.65% over the last month to an average price of $502,373. Townhouses up 6.66% to an average price of $667,860. And the average price of a single family home down 2.01% to an average price of $1,064,556. Properties are sitting on the market over 17.5% longer than this time last year, to an average days on market of 74 days. And we still do have a surplus of listing inventory with 3,637 current active listings, up 15.34% from this time last year. And that puts us almost at 11 months of inventory. So as suspected, over the next month, we'll probably see a slight slowdown again going through the holidays, but I bet the average sales price and most of the averages will have increased from this time last year, because it does feel like a busier December. My predictions still remain relatively the same for 2025, and we will be able to test my hypothesis as we get into the few first months of the year next year and see how the real estate stats are presenting and see how the sales are up and where the inventory is at. But that's going to wrap up my monthly market report for real estate in the Central Okanagan. Again, my name is Boholij, your Okanagan real estate expert and relocation specialist. If you have any questions about what I discussed, or you'd like to book a free consultation with me, my information is on the screen right now. You can book a free call in the description, or you can call me, text me, email me, whatever's more convenient for you. But that's going to be all for me, and I will catch you in the next video.